Thank you. Yes. So I've had the opportunity to work at both the college level with international students for many years and now at the high school level. And it's, besides missing college age conversations, I will say, it's been a really good transition for me. And so be happy. I'm glad I had this opportunity to talk about what we do at Maur Hill-MountAcademy. So let me share my screen. And slideshow from the start. So so we're at Maur Hill-MountAcademy. We are located in Atchison, Kansas. So Atchison is a rural area just about 40 minutes north of Kansas City. We're a Benedictine school, so founded by Order of St. Benedict. There are the Benedictine sisters and monks here in Atchison that also founded Benedictine College, where I was at, and I actually attended as a student myself. And the high school side was founded in 1863. So we've been a boarding and day student for high school kids since 1863. Started hosting international students, I think from what I heard, around in the 30s or the 40s. And in a normal year, we would usually have about 80 boarding students. Very different from Flint Ridge, though. We have usually a more diverse group of international students. We actually will cap the number of 10 students from a particular country. So we try and keep the diversity a little bit more amongst the countries represented on campus. And amongst our boarding students, half are actually from the United States and half are international. So we're not completely all international on campus. But we do have, always some students from China, from Taiwan, from Vietnam, from China, from Korea. And then we do get some students from throughout Europe, from Mexico, and sometimes some of the African countries as well. We're a high school, we're co-ed, 9 through 12, college prep academics. We do have an English as a second language program that a lot of our international students do come for that, and then other just extracurricular activities. So one of the things, obviously, like talking about the faith side of the school, our motto here is live the faith, pursue the truth, strive for excellence. So talking about the live the faith, we do offer daily mass in the morning for all of our students. We actually have all school mass every single Wednesday that's built into our class schedules. Our Sunday evening mass is a life teen mass on campus. Our head of school, Phil Banowitz, was actually part of the group that started Life Teen. So his passion is definitely youth ministry. And then being at an international school, how do you incorporate, in inviting all different types of faith backgrounds that come into everything that we do. We do require our Catholic boarders to attend weekly Sunday Mass, and then actually the non-Catholic boarders, we do require them to attend once a month. Kind of how I present it from the admission side is, this is who we are, this is our foundation, and we're not trying to obviously convert you, but we want you to learn of where we started and where we came from. Like most Catholic schools, I'm sure ones that are watching this, we have retreats, we have youth ministry activities. We even have a separate boys and a separate girls morning groups that is really great for the boarders, because the boarders are already up and they're gonna be eating breakfast. And so we have the morning group in one part of the cafeteria, so that you have some of our local day students that come, some of our boarding students that come. And I think here's where a school can capitalize on who is leading that. If it's a teacher, someone that they can really relate to, and it's not so much about Catholicism and in your face and living the faith. It's more so about, what are topics today that you guys want to talk about as youth and as high school students? And so we've actually seen these groups really grown throughout the years. Just having whoever, depending on what teacher, what coach, or whoever it is that leads them. So I'm the director of admission at the school. So I'm not the campus ministry person. We do have a campus minister on campus who's also a teacher. But after talking to her and after only being in the high school side for 2 years, one thing that I really wanted to talk about at our school that we do is called our house system. This is something that I know some high schools do. But what we have noticed over the years is it really is we take the entire student body and we divide them into houses. Think of it like Harry Potter. We don't have a sorting hat, but think of it like that. And, at first it was trying to break up the whole stereotypical freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Seniors pick on freshmen or whatever it is. But it's really developed over the years as this kind of strength and foundation within even the spiritual growth of the students, and then getting the students to really connect with one another. So I kind of put together, just so you can see what it works. Think of this as also if you have a student council, we don't have like a student council, student government system. So this is our council. Basically, you have a head teacher who oversees the entire house system, and then you have a head boy or head girl, that's usually seniors. They go through a whole process of application and applying for these roles. And then we take the entire student body, so 200 students, and this is a mix of all the day and all the boarding students, and we divide them into the 4 houses. And when we started, the students, I guess, they were the ones that decided they wanted St. George, St. Gabriel, St. Sebastian, and St. Mother Teresa. So that's how we came up with it. Schools do this, they pick various saints that they want to do. And we didn't come up with this on our own. We did steal it from another school. So don't be scared to borrow ideas. I'd be happy to share what we do afterwards as well, if anyone wants to contact me. And we took this from a day Catholic school. So it wasn't really even a boarding school. So within your house, you have a teacher leader, you have a student leader. So roughly 50 students for us, at least. And then actually a house is divided into 3 families, and you have a family teacher leader, a family student leader. So it's definitely a little bit smaller. And, you do a lot of the fun stuff. You do competitions throughout the year, and you're all trying to get a house cup. But what we saw our boarding students really enjoy, especially the international students, is at first they're kind of reluctant. They're forced into a house and family, but at the same time, they're meeting students from all over, and freshmen through seniors, boys and girls, day students, boarding students. And so it lets them become a little bit more comfortable, since they're, especially international students, they're in a foreign country. Maybe they're trying to work on their English skills a little bit lower, but meeting kids their own age and getting comfortable with teachers, getting comfortable with students. And, we do a lot of obviously the icebreaker games to begin with, but we also incorporate house meetings and family meetings into our weekly class schedules, so that every week they meet with their family and every week they meet with their house. And it could be something as just as fun as, okay, it's really nice outside now, we're going to go outside and sit and talk, or we're going to go play kickball for 30 minutes and have a little recess. But what we have seen over the years is the conversations that have started. And a lot of it is about faith and about spiritual life, because we tell students, especially from the beginning, we want you to have some sort of spiritual life. We want you to have a good set of morals and values, because if you don't have some sort of foundation in high school, some students will get off track in college. And we're not telling students, it has to be of the Catholic faith and Catholic, the Benedictines, but here's here's some things that have worked for a very long time. And, we want you to have a safe place to talk about and discuss it with teachers and with students. And so some things that we do, obviously, on the fun side is house competitions. We do community service projects. Benedictines are known for that. We have Benedictine points, we have fundraisers and things that they do. But on the ministry part, we have seen way more deeper conversations that come out of these family meetings. And usually it's the students that are leading it. Like I said, they meet weekly in their families and in their houses. Students are expected to lead prayer, and they take turns. And even our Chinese students, other international students, they're not scared to step up. And because they're amongst their own peers and they get to know even if it's a freshman and they're a senior, they get to know them a lot better. We even have our international students, they do the readings at Mass. And they're not, the only fear that we've ever seen them have is maybe that fear of public speaking. But because we kind of show them that this is just something that everyone does and it's okay if you're not Catholic, it works out really well, and just building up their confidence in those family meetings that they have each week. And then it also sets the tone for leadership roles. So you have a student leader for family and for house, and these are juniors and seniors. And we tell them, yes, there is a little bit of obviously a spiritual component to it, that we're expecting you to kind of lead some sort of conversations, but it's obviously not a requirement to be Catholic to become a student leader. And so we have students, we have international students all the time, and even Chinese students, that once they start to realize that they can become comfortable with just asking questions and learning more, they want those leadership roles. And they are phenomenal at it because they come from just a different, diverse background, that they really come up with more creative ways to include other students of other faith backgrounds with them. Another thing that I guess I forgot to mention is our chaplain is a Benedictine monk. He actually used to be Muslim, and he converted and became a Benedictine monk, which is very, very different. You probably don't see that a lot. And so we're almost kind of fortunate that he can relate to a lot of different faith backgrounds, and he's younger, so he does actually bring in this different perspective and can talk to our youth. We do have another monk who is in his 30s and actually teaches religion. And so we've been a little bit fortunate where we are, that we've had this more of younger the religious life on campus, that the students, they're not looking at the stereotypical older priests or older sisters. We have the younger ones on campus that are very, very involved. So we've been kind of fortunate that way. And I know that depends on where you are, location wise, but the students get to be around that, and the international students then feel more comfortable. And I know when I was talking to the kids, I said, just what are some quotes that you have that I could throw out? And there were some funny ones. I don't feel so pressured to go and do something because I'm around my peers, or going to mass is more of a meditation time for me. We actually redid our Life of a Border video, and we asked two completely different students. We asked a Chinese student what his impressions are of going to mass, and he says, well, I wouldn't say it's fun, but I like going with my friends. And I like going with my friends, and I like to meditate and have a quiet time, is how he kind of put it. And it was just really interesting to hear his perspective. And then we had a girl from Boston said, oh, I love going to mass. And she grew up Catholic, so that's kind of her perspective on it. But when we talk to students and talk to the parents afterwards, again, I think it kind of goes back to what Julie said from Flint Ridge, that the parents are so happy that the kid has some sort of spiritual growth and spiritual foundation, but there was no real pressure behind anything. And I think after really talking to our campus ministry person, and now switching from college to high school, the house system has played a huge role in that. And we've been doing it now for about 10 years, of just giving a safe place for students to talk amongst their peers, that they don't feel like they're getting the question wrong because it's not a religion class. We do require religion classes each year, but them knowing that, okay, I get a 25-minute break each week to kind of be with my family and my peers, and we might once a month talk about a certain, whether it's the retreat coming up, or we just had adoration with the Archbishop. So, we kind of talk about the students and preparing them for that, or it could just be kind of something fun, but you're developing a friendship with other kids that it does lead into more conversations. And so that's what we've really seen. We thought the house system was going to be more of just camaraderie and competitions and things, but it's turned into something completely else and more. And that's why I think it's been great for the kids, as far as at a smaller school, to try and get students to meet each other from across different countries, local students, and then across freshmen through seniors as well. But I wanted to highlight that program just as far as for our international students and the Chinese students at the school. And that's kind of actually all that I really had. So, and if anyone ever after this does have questions about the house system, I would be happy to explain it and how you can incorporate it into your school. So, thank you.
And thank you.